Yeah, what do you think his kind of plans are? I mean, I know a lot of people have speculated on what he might want to do. I think a lot of it has to do with free speech because he's tweeted about that, he's spoken about that in the past. How far? I'm curious as to how far you think he's actually going to take it.
You know, yeah, I do think Musk is a free speech advocate. Actually, we have a 2018 video I want to play for everyone. Russ, do you mind throwing that up quick?
You tweet a lot.
I use my tweets to express myself. Some people use their hair. I use Twitter.
Well, but you use your tweeting to kind of get back at critics.
Rarely.
You kind of have little wars with the press.
Twitter is a war zone. If somebody's going to jump in the war zone, it's like, okay, you're in the arena. Let's go.
Okay. Who does that sound like?
I don't know. Who does it sound like?
It sounds like a guy who lives at the White House.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, sure. He's very good at Twitter.
I know.
I think the president is amazingly good at Twitter.
Do you see any similarities between you and him?
I mean, there aren't zero similarities.
Do you support him?
I think there are some things that I think are good, like the Space Force. But there are some things that I think are not good, like support for oil and gas.
And his position on the environment, global warming?
We obviously do not agree on the environment.
So I really like Elon Musk's term there of Twitter as a war zone. I do think Twitter is, or should be at least, a war zone of ideas. Grant, you and I work in the news. Where does information most often break? It comes from Twitter. Where do we find a large majority of our stories? Where do ideas easily get bounced around and debated? It's on Twitter. And I think free speech is best when it exists in a war zone type environment. You're competing for the best ideas. More speech is always better than less speech. And I think that's what Elon wants to get back to. And I think that 2018 interview shows that. I mean, 4 years ago, he was advocating for free speech. And so really overall, I think this is just incredibly bad news for the left because think about what they did back in 2020 with the Hunter Biden laptop story before the 2020 election. I mean, Twitter weaponized itself against free speech, against the news, to censor this story to benefit Joe Biden to be elected. And so, like I said, I think this is a massive threat to the left. The worst thing that could happen for them is that Elon Musk says, you know what, I'm going to let Trump come back to Twitter. So I think Musk's plans are to make Twitter a free speech platform again, because whether we like it or not, Twitter really is the largest platform for ideas and speech, I think, in the country.